I want to do a quick explanation of what the difference is between ARGS and keyword ARGS. So ARGS meaning arguments, and KWARGS meaning keyword arguments. I'm just going to show it in the form of an expression where we define some sort of a function, and we pass it some arguments, some keyword arguments. You might have seen this little boilerplate code throughout where they just say that you can pass it ARGS or keyword ARGS, and that means that function will accept pretty much anything you take. The difference between the two is when you pass it ARGS, it has to be just a simple argument. Like for instance, save here. Let's run this. And you'll see that nothing comes up, no errors though. And if I for arg in args, print arg, and we'll save it and run it again, and you'll see that we'll have brown show up because I'm just simply passing it one arg. Now let's see the difference between this and actually keyword argument. So let's pass it a keyword argument where the keyword is eyes and the argument is blue. So I'm actually naming the argument, giving it sort of like a variable, an assignment, an argument. So let's just save that and run that. And you'll see, oh, we did not do the keyword arguments. Saved, run. And as you can see, in the first statement, we had brown, which we passed through, and no keyword arguments. In the second statement, we had brown, which we passed through, but then we did pass in a keyword argument of eyes and blue. Alright, so let's just take this one step further and modify our function here to give it a little bit more structure. So what we're going to do is actually give the argument a name that we want to pass. So hair. And a keyword argument, we're actually going to list the keyword arguments that we want here. So eyes, we're going to give it a default value to make it a keyword argument, and we'll call it green. So we no longer have args, so we have to delete that, and we no longer have keyword args. So instead we're just going to print hair, comma, eyes. And we'll just see what happens there. Let's save that and we'll run it. So what you'll find is we've now created two functions here which are both valid, and they both assign different values. In the first one we have just an argument, and what it does is it takes this keyword argument and defaults down to the green color. So when it showed up here we had brown eyes and brown hair and green eyes. In the second function call here, I've passed it an argument, the same hair color, as well as a keyword argument to use instead of the default value. In this case we're changing eyes to blue. So we have a value for eyes, so it doesn't need the default anymore, so it's going to actually use blue here. And that's what happened. Brown hair and blue eyes. So hopefully you get a better understanding now of your arguments in keyword arguments. I will bring up one more quick thing because it is important and it will cause an error, and it's that you cannot mix and match arguments and keyword arguments in an unordered fashion. Meaning, args have to all go at the beginning, and then once you start using keyword args, they then have to continue on and you can't mix them up. Okay, so let me show you a better example here. So I have hair, I have eyes as a keyword argument, and let's just do another quickie, is blood. It's a weird one, but whatever. So let's just run this real quick, and you'll see that an error pops up. And it says a non-default argument follows a default argument. And what that means is this keyword argument is classified as a default argument, like default value for eyes is green. So I can't go ahead and throw in a non-default argument, meaning that this has to be some sort of value, because it sort of defeats the purpose. The purpose of this is I don't need to include eyes in every function call. But if I had this structure, that would mean that I would have to say blood here. This would be nice to call it this way, because I don't want to include the eyes, I just want the default value. But the problem is, the way I've structured this is it doesn't really know, because this could be just a variable name, right? It doesn't know where to assign blood type to. Does it assign it to eyes or does it assign it to blood? It gets confused. So what you need to do is have the actual arguments, the non-default arguments, grouped together, and the keyword arguments grouped together separately. So now it knows that hair and blood work, and I'd have to pass in blood type here as well because it's a non-default item, so it's required. And then this will all work, so I'll just run that. And there you go. I'm not printing any of the blood here, so that's why it didn't show up, but everything ran without error. One quick thing I want to mention that I sort of left out and I wanted to talk about, and I know that a lot of people will be commenting on this particular question, is what do the asterisks mean before you say ARGS and keyword ARGS? Right? An easy way to think of this is the first, if it has one asterisk in front, it's looking for a list in that position. And if it has two asterisks in front of the name here, it's looking for a dictionary. So it makes clear sense that arguments will be a list of arguments like hair color, blood type, and keyword arguments will be a dictionary of keys and value pairs, meaning it's looking for a dictionary, and that's what we're giving it.